this ain't gonna be a singing video. So if that's what you're looking for, you can look further, move further away from this video because I'm about to say what I need to say. First of all, I'm not even gonna wait for you to get in because I know live videos are going to be recorded and they're gonna be shared, okay? But I wanna say this and I wanna be very clear. There is nobody that wants to just burn buildings for this cause, okay? And if you read the news, if you read what's going on, like the mayor has literally already said that nobody that was involved in looting and rioting was a part of this protest. But let me tell you something about being a Black man in this country. And I am sick of people saying, hey, brother, how you doing? I see you there. I'm sick of people saying these things to me, that a building burning is not worth the cause. I'm sorry, I don't feel that way. Because what you don't understand is that every day that I get up and I strap my child into the car and I drive down the street just to do normal things like going to the store, in the back of my mind, in the country that I live in, there is a worry, there's a possibility that me, a man with no record, no felonies, never been arrested, never been in jail, me, a man with no record, there's a possibility that I can't breathe, or I could be choked out, or I could be handcuffed and have somebody who just doesn't care about the fact that this color that's on my skin does not dictate where I came from. That's crazy to me that you don't understand that there's going to be some anger. There's going to be some upsetting situations. How long do we wait? How many people die before you'll feel that this cause is necessary for you to fight for? It took more than just Black people to march for the civil rights. It took more than just Black people to march across that bridge. It takes all of the people. It takes all Americans to understand that everybody is American. We didn't ask to come here. I hear that a lot from white supremacists. Go back to where you belong. But let me ask you a question. We were brung here. We were brought here in ships. We were brought here. We built this country. This country was built on the backs of my ancestors. So a building in Nashville that's historic is worth burning for you to understand. No, I don't believe that anybody in the protests did that. But what I'm trying to understand and tell you is that when you wake up and you Black, you can't do nothing to change that. I can't hide my Blackness. I can't. I can change my voice. I can talk proper. I can be professional. I can be educated. I can do everything possible, but I still walk in the door and I'm Black and I'm already 10 feet behind and you don't understand it and you don't get it. I'm not angry. I'm upset that this country doesn't get that we're here, and the same people that you want to protect, you want to holler about cops being killed or cops being murdered, but you're not saying that the reason why they're being murdered, the reason why people are angry with the cops, because the people that you're trying to protect don't protect us. They don't protect every American here. They're not protecting every American. So why are we upholding rights and we're not even considering doing retraining? Trump, you want to put the military involved and you say those thugs, if they start to loot, I start to shoot those thugs. That's how you talk about a community of Americans that built this country? That's your first thought is thugs? But you want me to vote for him though. You want me to support him. You don't want me to say anything about him. You want my vote, but you don't want me to say anything about the things that he says that clearly makes a true statement that he is a racist bigot. Why would you call a community of people thugs? Who uses those words? I'm going to say what I got to say. I have to say it because it's on my heart. I try to keep my platform very musical because I am a musician. But at first, I'm a father. First, I'm a father. I'm a father who has 2 kids. I'm raising a Black man. I'm raising a Black man in this society, and I want to change for my son. I've already lived 30 years under this oppression. I've already lived 30 years under it. I'm raising a child in this kind of climate. This kind of climate that doesn't support every American that bleeds red blood. Every American should be supported. Every American. There's no reason why a police officer should be afraid of me. I have no record. I have no record. I have no felonies. I've never done anything wrong. But what I'm trying to explain to you is that even with no record and no felony, there's still a question that life is worthless because of who did it. That is a problem, America. You don't hear stories about black cops killing white men. Do you know why you don't hear those stories? You don't hear those stories because black men are still afraid if they kill a white man, they're going to be hung by their family. They're going to lose their jobs. I'm sorry, it's not enough just to fire them. It's not enough just to be third-degree murder. It's not enough. It isn't. Why would we continue to say that it's enough? How many people have to die for you to understand that this is a problem? And it's a problem that's generally affecting just black men. I'm raising a black son in this world, a black Christian son in this world. You think I'm going to raise my son and tell him to vote for somebody that literally doesn't support his well-being, his life, his self-preservation? No, I'm not doing that. It's time out for foolishness, y'all. And no, it shouldn't be violent. It should not be a violent protest. It should not be violence. I do not agree with violence. I do not agree with violence. I don't. But what I do agree with is justice. What I do agree with is equality. And that means for every American, gay, black, white, everybody. The only difference between the movement has to be clear. What is the movement that we're making? What is the decision? We have to stop shutting people's conversations down. The dialogue needs to happen. It needs to be said how people really truly feel. Stop hiding behind your Twitter fingers. I don't want a president that tweets. I don't want a president that tweets out policies. I don't. I'm sorry. It's ridiculous. There's no reason that I should have to read a president tweeting about anything. I'm sorry. It's not his platform. His platform is the United States of America, and that's what he needs to do. Run that. That's it. Point blank. That's all I'm saying. And fact check. Y'all got to start checking these facts. Stop lying. Stop posting the same stuff. Literally, the supporters of that side is literally going to do everything that side says do. That's what is proven. That's a fact. That's okay. They have the right to vote for who they want to vote for. They have the right to have their Trump 2020 signs. That they have all those rights. This is not about Trump. This ain't about Trump. We don't care about Trump. This is about a senseless death of an American person on this soil. This is about a people that ain't been respected by this soil. This ain't about Trump. Trump only been in office for 4 years. This been happening way before Trump, baby. This been happening way before Trump. This is not about Trump. Ain't nobody talking about him. We're talking about black men losing their lives by police officers wrongfully. Did you see the video? He was handcuffed. Somebody was holding him, and another person had their hand, their knee in his neck. What do I tell my son? What do I wake up in the morning and tell him? When he go to school, what do I tell him? You tell me. You tell me, what do I tell my baby? What do I tell my baby? Do I just turn off the news and not let him watch the news? What do I tell my 2-year-old? What do I tell him? Why are we defining it this way? Why are we not controlling the narrative? It's not a protest. It's not a riot. It's a revolution. Let's be clear. There has to be a change. There has to be a change. There has to be something different. We have to all receive the glory. It's not a protest. It's more than that. It's bigger than that. People are trying to figure out how to raise their kids in this climate. What do we do? Do I go get a gun? Do I get a gun? Because I don't even carry a gun. I don't carry a weapon because I don't believe in violence. Scripture say you live by the sword, you die by the sword. That's the scripture. Do y'all read that scripture? Because a lot of the times when I'm hearing all of these people talking, everybody talks about their right to bear arms. And in the same subject, they talk about being conservative Christians. I don't understand. I can't put the two together. You got to help me out. The scripture says if you live by the sword, you die by the sword. We got to stop this. Everybody needs to come together. This is not just a black fight. This is an American fight. Pretty soon there won't be as melanated people as us because people are crossing the lines. That's what America is. It's a melting pot. There should be black Asians. There should be black Indians. There should be black white people. But y'all don't ever say anything about mixed people in this country. But that's where we're going. Before my dad died, who's white, he was Italian. What he used to say is the black man is going to be the most powerful race, right? That's what he would say. The white man would say that to me. And it's a big deal for him to say that to me because he was building me, because he already knew what was against me. He already knew what was against me. He already knew that even if he put all the right things in me, I was still going to be looked at as black. My friend Stacy said it tonight. It made me very clear. We sat at a restaurant table for a whole 30 minutes in Midland and nobody served us. Nobody talked to us. And I was with her and she couldn't understand why. She's never received service like that in Midland before. The situation is out of hand, y'all. Don't burn up the country. We're not asking you to burn up the country, but we are asking y'all to look at our point of view. And we stop. And let me be clear. I'm really asking you to stop telling me what it is to be black, because you don't know. Until you close your eyes and wake up in this skin, don't tell me how to behave. Don't tell me what to do. Don't tell me what I need to say to get it off my chest, because I'm raising a baby in this climate. I'm raising a baby in this climate. I'm raising my son, my 2-year-old son. And I'm thinking about, is it going to be a chance that one day he's going to still be dealing with the same thing I've been dealing with for the last 30 years of my life? Is that fair? Is that fair that all black people have to prepare their kids differently to deal with police officers that's supposed to be for us, supposed to protect us? I'm tired of hearing about black on black crime, because we can have a white guy walk into a school and shoot up the whole damn school and don't nobody say nothing. Okay, that ain't white on white crime. And y'all, and let me be clear, but yet y'all can bring him in and make him serve his time. That's what I want y'all to be clear about. All those killers, unless they killed themselves, that shot up all of y'all schools, the good schools with the trench coats on, Columbine, do y'all remember that? Or just recently, and the cop was able to apprehend that person unharmed. How? Now that's the kind of person, I'm sorry to tell you, that's the kind of person I want to kill. Somebody to walk into a school and shoot up babies. That's a person that needs to be dead. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying is that's a person that needs to be dead. But why is he coming in, armed and still alive? I don't understand it. I can't get it through my head. Help me get that through my head. Help me. But this man could literally just be doing his own thing. But because he's black that day, he ended up dead. Recently in Saginaw, just for an example, recently in Saginaw, a police officer, very good police officer that has let me off more than once on not having my seatbelt on. He was a very good, Mr. Koenig was a very sweet guy, but he got shot, right? And do you know his criminals still did time? They did time. Like, that guy got shot in his face, but he was not dead. So I'm trying to explain to you, so what's the difference? Like, you would think that police officers would have wanted to kill that man because he shot one of their brothers, right? But they were able to apprehend him and he did not die. So I'm trying to show y'all it's a difference. There is a difference between the way police officers are treated. And I seen a long post from somebody who I respect today. I seen a very long post from somebody who I really respect. And I couldn't believe that they were posting it. But you know what? I understand. I get it. Everybody has their view on things. But what I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give you the real truth. I'm black in America and it ain't easy. It ain't easy. In every situation that I've been in, I've worked for dealerships for 4 years. I have seen racism, okay? I know what racism is. I've seen racism in my own family. I was raised by a white man. I went to Bridgeport when Bridgeport didn't have that many black people in it. My brother got kicked off the bus because somebody broke his collarbone, spit on him and called him a nigger. I've been called a nigger more than 5 times in my life. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. We've been dealing with racism in Saginaw for a very long time. We probably the only city, I heard Patty say this, only city that just clearly knows that the white people going to be over here and the black people going to be over there. I don't go across the bridge. You don't go across the bridge because you're afraid of the black people across the bridge. Can I be honest with you? Can I keep it real today? You afraid, but what you don't understand, crime will come and happen anywhere. Crime will happen anywhere. You need to be in the right place at the right time. You need to stay prayed up is what you need to do. You need to keep the Lord with you at all times is what you need to do. But instead, you choose not to go to a certain area. Won't go to a certain area. But that's the point of the matter, though. This is cool. We all live with racism. We all deal with it. We all deal with it, and we're okay with it. Well, that's what I'm trying to tell you. That same racism that we walking by and not talking about, that's the same racism that's brewing in the police officers that's killing black men. We're not talking about the racism. We need to talk about it. It needs to be talked about. Something needs to be said, because if ain't nothing gonna get done, if ain't nothing gonna change, then why are we talking about the buildings? I don't want to talk about no building. I don't care what get burned down. I really don't, but I'm not encouraging violence. But what I'm trying to explain to you is, don't tell me about a building when it could have been me on the ground dead. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. It don't matter about no building. I'm thinking about my life. I'm thinking about my child's life. What if somebody killed me in front of my child for a routine traffic stop? What is that about? For selling Lucy cigarettes. How many of you that sold a cigarette to your friend? Is that something worth dying over? Matter of fact, let me ask you another question. I got one more question for you. Here's the real question. Is it something worth dying over, or is it not a concern when an American person says, I can't breathe? What makes a police officer continue with brute force if he says he can't breathe? Shouldn't he be American enough to be innocent until proven guilty? But that's what y'all don't get. That's the law. That's the law. Innocent until proven guilty, but yet I'm walking around guilty every day. I'm walking around guilty and I ain't even got a felony. I don't got nothing more than a traffic ticket, but every day I'm guilty. Drove out of my house to go to the store just the other day, and this is everyday life. We don't talk about it because we know y'all don't care about it as much, but this is everyday life for a black man. I drove to the store just the other day. I pulled up to the end of the driveway. Now I live on Gratiot. Now there's a cop sitting on Wheeler, right? I pulled to the end of my driveway, and I'm looking to see what he gonna do. He got the right of way. I'm not pulling out until I see what he gonna do, right? That's what I did. So I pulled to the end of my driveway, and I seen that he's still sitting there. So I back in my driveway because I know where my rights is. Because my rights, once I leave this driveway, see, I'm trying to get y'all to understand, because I don't think y'all hear it from this point of view, but my rights, once I leave my driveway, is over, and they might even be over in my house if I'm not careful. Do you get that? That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't have a lot of rights that protect me. Because you can pull me over for a traffic stop and still never tell me why you stopped me. Just that. Do you know that when I backed up in my driveway, that cop pulled up in front of my house and shined down his light down my driveway? I'm an American citizen, and I was not breaking the law. I didn't do anything wrong, but he pulled and shined his light down my driveway. I'm talking about me with no felonies, me with no criminal record, me who doesn't have anything more than a speeding ticket, me who has 2 kids that I'm raising, me. That cop pulled down my driveway. He didn't have a reason to stop. I wasn't even driving. I got out the car. And he shined his light down my driveway, and it made me know, man, look, here I am. I done did everything in my life to make sure my record was right. I done did everything in my life to make sure that I wouldn't be racial profiled. I done did everything in my life. I done lived my life. I have so many white friends. I have so many black friends. I love every person, every people, every race, every creed, every gay person, every black person. I love every American on this soil. Indian, Arab, Muslim, Mexican, illegal or legal. I don't care. I don't want no walls. The only wall I want built in this country is a wall against racism. Let's build that wall. Let's spend some money and some time to build the wall against racism. Let's build, you want to build a wall? Let's build the wall against racism. That's the wall we're building. Let's build a wall between what happened in the past. Y'all want to bridge the gap with why black people still talking about slavery? We're still talking about slavery because y'all still killing us like animals. That's why we still talking about slavery. Some of y'all don't understand that we're not enslaved no more. And I'm not going to be one of the ignorant people that say we're not our grandmothers and our grandfathers, because no, we are our grandmothers and our grandfathers. We all want to live. We all want free. We all want to be equal. We all want to have the same rights that you have. We are them. We are them. We are trying to build a better life for our children. We are trying to make sure that Barack Obama wasn't the last black president. We are trying to make sure that, yes, we do want a seat at the table. Yes, we don't want to be the first anymore. No, because it's too darn long to be in this country all this time and still be the first. There should be no more first black people. Let's be the first Americans to work as Americans and not white and black. Let's be the first of that. Let's get them first out of the door. This ain't political. This ain't about Trump. This ain't about Whitmer. This ain't about Biden. This ain't none has nothing to do with them. Nothing. It's about Congress. It's about legislation. Forget the executive branches. Let's talk about the people that's actually making the laws. You so worried about Trump, you ain't even seeing the fact that he has a whole party of people doing the real stuff. Okay? Stop worrying about Trump. He's just a puppet. He ain't nobody. Every president really, truly, and entirely has a Congress that rules them. He's probably the president that actually has broken a lot of the rules and stepped aside a lot, but he still ain't the one that's making the decisions. This need to go to the Supreme Court. We need to have some legislation in place. You ain't gonna get legislation with a president. You got to get Congress involved to get legislation. You got to get out and vote, not just for this November 8th, but the primaries too. You got to vote for these people. You got to elect who's supposed to be elected to support you. I'm tired of being the first, and I'm tired of being the only too. First and only is out. We're Americans. Let's live as such. Share this video because this is real stuff. I'm telling you from our point of view. I'm not going to speak for every black man. I'm not going to do that, but I'm sure I can get about 7 to 10 black men, probably 30 black men that will agree with me and say that it is hard in this country to wake up and be black. Simple as that. When I woke up, I was black, it was a problem. And that's what we're trying to change. I'm tired of waking up black and there being a problem with it. That's it. I ain't even mad. I ain't even mad about who you voted for. I'm not. What I'm mad about is you can't see that if, in fact, that who you voted for is a person that stands up with white supremacists and won't denounce them, won't denounce Nazis. The only president in the history of the United States that wouldn't denounce him. That's why I, as a black man, I can't say I'm a Trump supporter. Okay? I can't. I just can't. I'm sorry. I can't tell my son that that's real. I can't tell my baby boy that daddy voted for somebody who won't even stand up and say we need to make laws that protect black men against this country. Because that's what's eating them up. Is this situation. You get in the system one time, you ain't getting out of it. Unless you're real smart and you go hide, because you're going to keep getting arrested. Because you could just be driving down the street doing nothing and get arrested, get pulled over. And I don't understand how you guys don't get that a routine traffic stop only becomes important when it could end somebody's life. That's why people are afraid of cops. Because a ticket for a routine traffic stop should not end your life, or you're just walking down the street, that shouldn't end your life. Why can't we learn to apprehend people? And I had somebody at my job tell me that every police officer wants to go home. Every police officer wants to go home, so they do what they need to do. So every police officer can go home. A white man got killed a couple of months back, right? And I was so hurt about the white man dying, and I know people are going to get mad at me when I say this, but he stabbed a police dog, right? And I get it. He's an officer, but what I don't understand is how the dog became bigger than human life. Y'all got to help me understand that when things become bigger than human life, when y'all comfort. So you mean that your comfort is more important than my life? Is that what you're saying to me? That your comfort, that your fear, the fear that your ancestors placed in you. Let's be clear. We always talk about Black people's ancestors and what they did to be free, but let's not forget about the things that your ancestors placed in you, okay? Because our ancestors placed some fight in us. Our ancestors placed some really good, strong roots in us, because we got to be alive. In order to be alive, you got to evolve, right? So if you got to evolve in oppression, that's why you learn how to evolve in that. That's why you don't see a lot of us smiling. How can you smile when you know that something as simple as a routine traffic stop can kill you? Y'all know who I am. Y'all know my life. Y'all know my records. Y'all know what I'm about. Y'all know I'm not a person that gets involved in these kind of scuffles and tassels. Y'all know that. I really don't post anything on my page but singing and car sales and my mother, her birthday, and my kid's birthday, my birthday. That's it. That's the 5 things. Like family events. I don't do this. This ain't me. But I get angry and I get upset when I hear people saying stuff like, we gave you the opportunity. We gave you the right. The president spoke against that cop. The president spoke against that cop. The president has the power to pardon people. He has the power to do whatever he wants. How about the president put his hands where it needs to be and make sure the cops gets more than 3rd degree murder? Because that ain't enough. Wow, we finally got one convicted of a crime. Oh my God, that's a groundbreaking thing, but it's 3rd degree. He was in handcuffs. He had another cop on his back. His knee was in his neck. That's 3rd degree. When that man said he couldn't breathe, when they had already called the ambulance because they knew that something was wrong, that's 3rd degree murder. I'm just saying the law's got to work for everybody. The flag has to work for everybody. We in America, y'all, the biggest melting pot in the country, in the world. In the world. This is a place where immigrants met at Ellis Island, signed their name in a book. Let's not forget, give me your tired, give me your poor. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot. See, when those laws were made, we were still slaves. So when all of those things happened, we were still slaves. So that don't apply to us. So that's why this is the reason why Black people talk about reparations, right? Because I'm not asking for no handouts. But it's funny to me that Indians got their money. They respect them. They gave them their land, right? And there's no fight between the Indians and the whites. There's none. Might be racism, but there's no fight between them. They felt like they were human enough and that they actually lost something, so they paid them. They made sure they had money for the rest of their life because they stole something from them. What about what they stole from me? What about what they stole from us? What would Africa be if it had never been tampered with? Where's the pyramid at? Tell me where there's a pyramid at besides Africa. So y'all got to start thinking about, what about the things they stole from us? I ain't asking for money, but at least make some laws that make sure my baby can walk down the street and not get frisked and not get harassed by a cop just because he's Black. Let me wear a hoodie if I want to wear a hoodie. Let's have these conversations so we can kill fear. We don't need fear involved with Black people. Man, we the most generous, kind people that there is. You know, I can tell you that we the most generous, kind people that there is. Let me tell you something. I have white friends, and my page has really been dedicated to the protests lately, so I've been sharing a lot of stuff. I seen some posts, and I made sure I shared them because I wanted to make sure my white friends that I know is cool, and I know they got a heart, and I know they love Charles, and they love the hell out of me. I wanted to make sure that they knew that I don't have an issue with them. This is not me being racist. I wanted to make sure that they were comfortable. We're the most generous people in the world. I don't know no other people that you can go over their house and get Kool-Aid and get a whole plate before you leave. I don't know no other people in the world that's gonna ask you if you hungry, okay? I don't know no people like that. My grandma used to feed the whole neighborhood, whether you was white, Black, Mexican, stanky, ugly, everything. Now she talked about you, yeah, funky breath. She said, well, that baby breath funky, but he can eat. It takes a village to raise a child. It takes a whole village to raise a child. So why we can't work together? We've been here long enough. Why we ain't adjusted? Why we still doing this? Why we still doing this late in life? Stop killing our people, Americans. There's no reason senseless Americans should die, ever. We ain't talking about just Black people. Unfortunately, the only thing getting reported is Black people dying, but I don't think there's a lot of Black cops killing white men. I don't feel that way, and I'm gonna stand to that because we know that's not true. But what I am saying is, I'm tired of being the first of everything. Y'all don't understand that just as well as the Oscars being all white one year, and then when we complain about it, the next year they all Black. That's stuff that's embedded racism. That stuff needs to be talked about. You know, and it's so sad that the racism in America is so thick that you even have people that come across the seas and see how y'all treat us, so they start treating us that way. That's learned behavior. That's embedded behavior. Don't tell me that ain't from deep-rooted evil. That's deep. If you are Christian and you say you Christian, then you love all brothers. That's what you do. You love thy neighbor, okay? Whether they Black or white. I get so sick of racist people toting Bibles. It's so crazy to me how you so Christian, you so saved, you so sanctified, but that racist that bigot is sitting there living in you with the Holy Ghost. Man, you're a liar. You're just a liar. You ain't saved. You ain't holy. Ain't no bigot living in with the Holy Ghost. Ain't no bigot gonna live down in with the Holy. God ain't gonna dwell in that. Quit lying. You ain't holy. Stop saying you voting because you holy, because you not. All right? You not holy. You ain't. If you racist, you ain't going to heaven. You going to hell. I'm just letting you know right now. Because heaven is not going to be pearly white, baby. It's going to be Black, whites, Mexicans, everything. Every race is going to be. The scripture clearly states one day every tongue shall confess and every knee shall bow. That means that it's going to be full of us. We're going to have Black parties in heaven with y'all. So y'all better get prepared, okay? Because my master ain't racist and he Black. Let's get it right. Okay, you got hair like wool. I know you see this wool. I don't want to mess y'all up with y'all self, but this is wool, baby. This is wool. Do I need to show you the husk of my feet? Okay, because he Black. That man was Black. He wasn't no. Don't get it twisted. How how he come from the cradle of the earth and not be Black? See, we need to defile all this racist bigotry. That's stuff that's not real. That's how they keep you in bondage, by not doing research. Bondage, what does it say? People perish for the lack of knowledge. If you ain't gonna study, if you ain't gonna fact check, you're going to perish. Perish, I mean leave. People perish for the lack of knowledge. So what do you do to Black people? You don't even talk about Black history in schools. You got a whole month of Black history, and none of y'all chose to learn what really affects the Black community. No, see, because y'all still thinking we can be equal and be separated. Y'all still thinking we can be equal and be separate. That's not real life. When you start separating stuff, whites only, coloreds only, those, just because you remove those signs don't mean you remove that stigma. Don't mean you remove that stigma because you remove that sign. It takes work. It was just 1960. It was just 1960 when slaves were emancipated. I mean, come on. I mean, when we got there's so many things that just happened just a couple of years back. We're still doing first. So don't come up in my face and don't think I'm going to be happy with you rallying around telling me what should be done and what your president said and what. No, I don't want to hear that. Come in my face and tell me how we make a change for all Americans. Yeah, let's make America great for all Americans. Let's make America great for all Americans, not just the ones that wear the red hats. Okay? I want a greater America for my son. I want a greater America where he understands that because he's a little lighter, it doesn't mean that he's different. I want an America that understands that Barack Obama is not the first Black president. He's the first mixed president that we had. His mama white. I want an American that understands that just because you got a drip drop of Black don't mean that you just Black. We are people of color. People of color come from everywhere. We're the only race if there's a drip, you gonna see it, baby. That's what you're scared of. This melanin is popping. Just saying. I want an American that understands that it's ethnicity. No, I'm not a Black American. I'm American. I was born on this soil. It's my America. Oh, say, can you see that I was born here right in this country? So I'm American. Oh, say, can you see that? Oh, say, can you see that? Make sure the rights represent me because I was born here. I ain't never lived nowhere else. Forget Africa. You already ruined that. You already took us from Africa. We ain't there no more. Y'all brought us here. Deal with it. Y'all brought us here. And don't give me that crap that we sold ourselves into slavery. Because you need to do a little more research than that. Okay? Let me ask you a question. And I'm gonna leave it at this because there's 30 of y'all viewing, and I appreciate you sharing. But let me ask you one question here. And this is directed towards racism. I'm never gonna say this is directed towards white people. It's directed towards racist people. Okay? Let me ask you one question. How would you feel if your ancestors were taken from your mainland, brung here, made slaves, don't even know your own language, don't even know where you came from, what part of Africa that you came from, and then tell you, just deal with it, we're going to still kill you, it don't matter. We're going to free you, but we still going to kill you. We're going to free you, but we still going to make sure you can't get a house. We're going to free you, but we're going to even make sure the loans are higher interest for you. We're going to make sure you're never really financially free. We're going to make sure we create systems to keep you on the nipple of this United States. How would you feel? Would you ever feel like you were really a part? Yeah, that's why Colin is kneeling, because we don't feel like we a part. We don't feel like the same police officers that come to your begging need, as soon as they come and see me, I'm the suspect. I don't even call the police when something going on. You know why? Because I can end up being arrested just because I called them. Racism has no respect of person. Believe it or not. Simple as that. It's taught, it's learned, and it's breeded. And you're breeding it when you're not talking about the simple racist stuff. See, my problem is somebody died. That's why we mad. But we ain't even telling y'all how many times y'all done paid us less for the same job. Or or the fact that, you know what, let me be real. Because I work in a dealership. So, or the fact that there's no Black managers at any dealership within a 30-mile radius. I met my first Black sales manager in Flint. Can I be real, or can I just be fake? You got somebody there. It's confusing. It's confusing, but we're not racist though. But we're not racist, right? We're not. Because we just talking about the fact that y'all killed somebody, okay? One of our people. But we're not talking about the fact that when I come in for a job, the manager asked me, can I pass a drug test 3 times? 3. And that's not at one job. So don't try to pick which one it was, because it ain't at one of them. It's happened at more than one. And that's what I'm trying to explain to you. You ain't even got to worry about it. I ain't gonna even say no names, but it's happened at more than one. And I've been to 6 dealerships. So, I'm just keeping it real honest with you today. Or I'm lucky, I'm blessed. My name is very application ready, okay? We're cultured people. We're people that don't even have our own last names from our own real ancestors. We don't, because y'all didn't even care. See, that's the funny thing. Remember when they was taking the kids from the babies and not writing down stuff, not doing record searching and finding out where they came from and whose parents they was? That's the same rhetoric. That's the same rhetoric crap that they did with the slaves. They didn't write down where we came from. We don't know who we are. We don't know that stuff. I don't know exactly where I am. That's why Ancestry.com is out, because I can't say exactly what part of Africa my family's from. Y'all want us to just get over that? Is that what y'all want us to do, is get over it? We're in a country where y'all had to literally integrate schools. And you don't think that this is a problem, that Black people are still getting killed today? It's not about riots. It's not about violence. It's about being looked at as an American. It's about not having to check a box if you was born an American. Why is there not a box that says American? We American. We're the only country in the world that still separates races. Let me tell you something. My mother's piano player, when I was 10 years old, and everybody get mad when I say this. They really get upset about this, but he's from Italy. And my stupid self, because I'm American and this is what we do to people, I said, where are you from? He said, Italy. I said, but where are you from? Are you Italian? He was like, I was born in Italy. I'm Italian. And I was like, okay, but where are your parents from? He was like, well, they're Irish, but I was born on Italian soil, so I'm Italian. And I was like, I was 10 years old. I was like, wow, that's interesting. I was born on American soil too, but I'm still Black. Think. Don't we all deserve the rights? I don't care about buildings burning. The Boston Tea Party, that happened because it took so long for the king and his parliament to understand. Don't you think the Boston Tea Party was a good thing? This is a revolution. This is not a riot. This is not a protest. We're demanding change. We're demanding a different life. We're demanding equality for all and justice for all. Don't be on the wrong side of history. Let go of your white privilege. It's time out for it. Let's have American privilege and American pride. It is time for us to stand as a country. And I'm sorry, but unfortunately, we don't have a president that's going to unify this country. He's not willing to unify. He's willing to fight. He's willing to tweet, but he ain't willing to unify. We need a president that's willing to unify for the country and stand up and say, this is not right, regardless of who it is.